Here is Demoniacal Fit's version of Bojack Trunks now. They're calling this guy the coming one Top Gun. Demoniacal Fit, as usual, sends their figures out in really nice boxes. I always mention that they look like event exclusive boxes. So here is another one. We get a nice silhouette of Trunks on the side, a huge open window to see your figure. The sides of the boxes are just the name of the figure. Well, this has another silhouette of Trunks. The bottom and then the top look pretty good. They also send their packages out in shippers. So I got mine off of hobbymodelsstore.com. The price of this guy was $38.50. It came out to like $44 after taxes and shipping. Not a bad price at all for this figure. And Demoniacal Fit is always sending us like loads of accessories. We get a Super Saiyan head sculpt, we have a windswept base form and a static base form, a total of 6 different face plates. Then we have a sword, several different hands, and a key blast effect. So for 38 bucks, it's a whole lot of bang for your buck already. And this figure in hand looks a whole lot better than the promo pictures, I will say that. The accuracy and the line work and detail in the face sculpt is very similar to Trunks' Boy from the Future. And I do have that faceplate, don't mind the body, but the faceplate on these figures. You can see the difference, slightly different between Demoniacal Fit and Top Gun here, but it's pretty much the same mold. So the line work and detail look really good. We have the torn jacket sleeves. And my first question for this figure was, are we able to take the jacket off? And we are not, unfortunately. So this Trunks is gonna keep the jacket on. I know that they are coming out with another Trunks that has cut sleeves that doesn't have the half-cut jacket on, but he does have a tank top on to where he can look good with the jacket off. We have the matted tone skin here with the musculature and things like that looking good. No shading in the arms as well. There's no shading on the inside of the body, and this is pretty much a resculpt of Trunks' Boy from the Future. Same thing with the belt, is the mustard plastic, no shading. The blue part, the red and silver are all painted in, and then down to the leg sculpt here. So the leg sculpt is different, and I'm not sure exactly where the torn pants came from. Leave a comment below if you know exactly where his pants looked like torn like this in a seam. So it is the same sculpt, just with rips in the pants from Trunks' Boy from the Future. Skin tone paint in the inside definitely matches with the skin tone of the figure. So you get a rip on the top right thigh here, and then another rip on his left shin. And that's all the dark gray plastic. And then the mustard color plastic at the bottom. And the bottom of the shoe is painted white. And the tip of the boots are painted brown. So zero shading in the figure, both front and back. So loads of accessories here. And this sword is identical to SH Figuarts, is the one on the top. And then the tips of the sword are 100% identical. But the thing that's different is this sword, it's pretty much a transparent plastic. So they made that look like blood, and then it fades into the actual color of the sword. And when you take the tip of this thing off to put his hand in, you can see all the transparent pinkish plastic. So that is a major difference between the official sword and this Demoniacal Fit sword. So they're both the same size. They're both they can both be swapped in and out from the sword sheaths that they come with, but Demoniacal Fit just added their twist, and that's a nice twist for a sword also. I actually like that. It's really dope. And same thing with the sword and the sword sheath, which were kind of annoying, or really annoying rather, for Trunks' Boy from the Future, because they would always come off. I think the only one that perfected this was Taunts Art Toys, but you pretty much plug these in. Well, they seem like they're gonna stay in there. We'll put this sword on him later on in the video. He comes with his fists on out of the box. Next are like the key blast hands. We have some open palm hands. He has kind of like karate posing hands. He has some hands that hold the sword, kind of like pointing forward and or backwards. And he has another set of hands here to hold the sword. And there is a slight difference between these two. One is kind of like slightly open, and then this one is more kind of grasping the sword a little bit tighter, I guess you can say. And last but not least, we have the hands that hold the key blast effect. And this key blast effect, it looks really good. It's just a transparent yellow plastic. And the other trunks did not come with this kind of key blast effect. It has little lightning effects on the side, and then the color that they chose with the transparent yellow, it definitely works. So for the 6 face plates that this guy comes with, 3 of them are for the base form, and then 3 of them are for the Super Saiyan head. So we get a lot of different looks on the shelf with this guy. This first face is just a static face, and pretty much the same as Trunks' boy from the future. For the next face, for the base form, is the yelling face. And this is a reprint of the Super Saiyan yelling face. And for the last base form faceplate, he has kind of like a static look, but then he's got a smirk on his face. So this face looks really good. And again, the accuracy on this Demoniacal Fit Trunks it looks really good, at least in my personal opinion so far. And we'll make a comparison between the other Trunks that I have in my collection, which is Tauntaun Art Toys, and then the official Trunks boy from the future release. But so far, this Trunks is looking super accurate and super clean. And for the next sculpt here, and here's your windswept look, and here's the smirk static face. There's also no shading in this windswept hair either, but it does look good. And you are able to, if you wanted to swap out the front bang. For whatever reason you might want to do that, it does fit, and vice versa for the windswept, and still able to work like that too. So his hair will be sitting down or laying down in the back, and then the front of the bang still goes on the front. The yelling face on the windswept head. And for the last face, which is the static face on the windswept head, and the articulation with this windswept head sculpt, you get no side-to-side tilt action at all. You can still look down pretty good, and then looking up is not going to work well. Also, these head sculpts, they are like the soft rubber plastic, but the back part is just too thick to bend the back. And then the articulation for the non-windswept head is pretty much the same also. Pretty much is able to look down, not so much looking up, and then not so much side to side. So that could be one gripe about this figure, is not much articulation in the base form head. And then last but not least, we have the Super Saiyan head. And for this head, when I first seen it for the promo pictures and things like that, I didn't really like the look of it. And that's only because we've seen Tauntaun Art Toys now. So looking at this one, I'm kind of automatically comparing it to those other sculpts. And this is not a bad sculpt. And another plus is it matches with the Trunks boy from the future hair. So the shading and the color of the sculpt looks the same. They pretty much matched it to where it looked like his hair just kind of like grew out. It looks like this Trunks just let his hair grow, so that's a good attention to details for that part on Demoniacal Fit, and just staying in tune with Trunks boy from the future from SH Figuarts. And here is a teeth gritting face. Now it looks really good as well. And the differences between SH Figuarts and Demoniacal Fit, I think Demoniacal Fit did a lot better job. The SH Figuarts with the smaller pupils just kind of looks a little odd now that you get a side-by-side comparison to, you know, what you would want your Trunks to look like. And then there's more line work and detail, like on the tip of the nose, the middle of the forehead. The color of the eyes and the yellow in the eyebrows are pretty much the same, and the mouth is pretty much the same, but I think Demoniacal Fit looks slightly better for this battle here. And for the last Super Saiyan face sculpt, we get the yelling face. So you can't have a Super Saiyan head sculpt without a yelling face. The details and the line work look really good. SH Figuarts and Demoniacal Fit. Again, it's something about making the pupils just a little bit larger, and then they added just a little bit more details, like in the bridge of the nose, and then the line work on the top of the forehead. So subtle changes, subtle improvements, I'd say. So Demoniacal Fit, again, great job paying attention to details. But then the most important thing is like Demoniacal Fit looks like Trunks' boy from the future. And the articulation for the Super Saiyan head is a lot better. As far as, well, looking down, it's pretty much the same, but he can look up a whole lot more now that his hair is kind of like flaring up. And then you get some side to side tilt. Now you can finally take advantage of that 3.0 neck peg. He can reach up about that high, and these butterfly joints reaching about that far. Reaching backwards, not too bad. Bicep swivel is nice and buttery. Double jointed elbow works good. These wrist pegs are pretty solid. As of lately, Demoniacal Fit is like hit or miss. Their Goku's wrist pegs were like really loose. These ones feel really tight and they're actually kind of squeaky. Ab crunch to the front works good. He doesn't really crunch too far backwards. You get a full 360 rotation here. Side to side tilt action works really good. The articulation in this jacket is still going to be the same. This part is still glued on, but I don't see any peg holes there like SH Figuarts. Oh, I do see the peg, but it is definitely glued on. But when you're articulating, it does open up to keep the aesthetic look while keeping the jacket on. Splits forward and backwards work well. For these thigh cuffs, you have to like tuck it under his crotch area, and then you're able to get some splits to the side. We still have a thigh swivel here that's nice and tight. Double jointed knees work well. Not bad at all. And then the ankle rocker is good. And then we have the toe hinge. Another thing that they fixed about this guy, if you guys remember from Trunks' boy from the future, was the legs were like really wobbly, like really wobbly. And these legs are nice and tight. They'll hold the pose going out to the side. So another attention to details there. Pretty much wrapping it on here, and the sword definitely stays on. It's not coming off as easy as SH Figuarts, and that's a good thing. I'm like holding him up from the sword, and we could get a comparison between the other Trunkses here. The base form head. So I have Trunks' boy from the future, and I have Bojack Trunks from Taunts and Art Toys. So here are the differences between their base forms. And like I mentioned before, if you're looking at these two, the official release and Demoniacal Fit, I honestly don't know how they get away with the fact that they're making their figures like so spot on and identical to SH Figuarts. I mean, I'm not hating. I actually like that. A lot of my figures on my shelf are from Demoniacal Fit, and you know, in some areas I wish I would have just waited for the Demoniacal Fit version over SH Figuarts. The overall aesthetic look of these two figures on the shelf now, like without Taunts and Art Toys mentioned in the picture, I would say that you definitely can't go wrong with this Top Gun Demoniacal Fit Bojack Trunks, due to the fact that, you know, you're going from SH Figuarts Boy from the Future to now this Trunks, and the scale is exactly the same. They're exactly the same height. And then this just definitely looks like Trunks, you know, ripped his sleeves off and then he let his hair grow. The color of the purple is the same. The jackets are the same. The sword color is, everything's pretty much the same. So with these two figures on your shelf, they'll definitely look good together. And then for Taunts and Art Toys' version, he's definitely on a scale of his own. And for the accuracy of Trunks' face sculpt and the hair, I think that Demoniacal Fit killed it. The face on this Taunts and Art Toys Trunks, I was never really a fan of, but the body and like the sculpt of the figure is definitely, unique. I would say that the differences between, you know, the three now is Demoniacal Fit is a lot closer to the official release than Taunts and Artois is, but taking away nothing from Taunts and Artois because they came through and killed it. There's a lot of different unique things about this figure. And then now there's a lot of unique things about Demoniacal Fit. So leave a comment below on which one is your favorite and which one do you think is the most accurate. And the differences between the Super Saiyan heads, starting off with SH Figuarts and then Demoniacal Fit, like I mentioned before. You can look at these two and, you know, the shading and the yellow paintwork or the plastic printout is definitely the same. So it looks like this Trunks grew his hair out and kind of ripped his jacket sleeves off. And then when we look at the differences between the sculpts, this is where I think that Taunts and Artois definitely killed it. I really like Taunts and Artois' sculpt for their Super Saiyan head. It's one of my favorites. I just don't like the kind of like the metallic yellow paint. And this came in two variants. The other one has the same color yellow as this one. I don't have it out, but just looking at the differences between the sculpts here, Taunts and Artois definitely has a better sculpt. But again, if you didn't have this figure and you only had this one on your shelf, this still passes for Bojack Trunks for sure. And for the head swaps for this guy, unfortunately, they do not work. When you put in Trunks Boy from the Future head on the Demoniacal Fit, it's just pretty much sliding on. It's really wobbly. And the same thing with oh, well, Taunts and Artois actually went on Demoniacal Fit. It's snapped in there too, and it's not loose. So you can put Taunts and Artois' head sculpt on Demoniacal Fit, vice versa with Demoniacal Fit onto Taunts and Artois. So the head swaps do work, Taunts and Artois and Demoniacal Fit, but these Demoniacal Fit head sculpts are not going on to SH Figuarts. The actual peg doesn't fit inside of the Demoniacal Fit sculpt. You could probably force it in there, but I'm not going to force mine in there. I don't want to break this. And just to get an idea of Trunks would look like with his jacket on, that looks super sick. I mean, it's pretty much the same face sculpt, just with long hair now. And here's Demoniacal Fit on Taunts and Artois. So my overall thoughts of Demoniacal Fit's Bojack Trunks, or the coming one Top Gun. I honestly think he's super dope. Aesthetically speaking, I think he's spot on. The accuracy, like Demoniacal Fit pretty much killed it. The articulation is really good. They fixed the legs and the neck area. The joints are nice and smooth. Everything is pretty much worth it. You get loads of accessories. We got 3 different head sculpts, several different faces and hands, his sword, and the key blast effects. So I think he's worth it. Definitely don't pass up on this guy. If you're looking for a place to get him from, I got mine from hobbymodelsstore.com. The price was around $38.50. If you feel like this video was helpful, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to keep an eye out for my next videos to come, go ahead and subscribe. Until then, thank you for watching.